The Interstellar Academy of Unified Species was known for three things: its impossible entrance exam, its even more impossible dorm policies, and its wildly unpredictable cross-species biology classes. On the first day of Xenobiology 101, instructor Talrithi, a tall, crystalline Etherian, floated into the lecture hall and projected a hologram of various species across the galaxy. Today, the instructor announced, we will cover reproductive cycles across mammalian and pseudo-mammalian species. 1,000 students, scaled, furred, feathered, gelatinous, and a handful of humans, took their seats. One human in particular, Ethan Cole, sat in the back, quietly reviewing his notes. He had gotten in on a military scholarship, and compared to the towering aliens around him, he stuck out like a sore thumb. In the front row sat Zyra Onvel, a young Hetheri noble student with sapphire skin, for silver-flecked eyes, and a crest that shimmered when she was stressed. Known for being the top student in every class, and also known for disliking humans. Humans were biologically inefficient, she often claimed, primitive, chaotic, unoptimized, and worst of all, unpredictable. Today, she was about to discover just how unpredictable. Instructor Talrithi waved a crystalline appendage. Let us begin with Hetheri. Zyra stood proudly. Hetheri females have a single fertile season per orbit, what humans call a year. Males are only fertile during the same season, triggered by hormonal synchronization. Several species nodded. This was normal. Next, instructor Talrithi motioned toward the small cluster of humans. Human reproductive cycles. Who would like to explain? No one raised their hand. Ethan looked down at his data pad, trying not to draw attention. Zyra frowned. How difficult can it be? Humans are mammals. They must have a mating season. Everything productive does. Ethan sighed. She wasn't wrong. Most species did have cycles. But humans were different. Instructor Talrithi floated closer. Cadet Cole. Explain, please. Ethan stood reluctantly. Well, humans don't have a mating season. The hall went silent. 1,000 eyes turned toward him. Zyra blinked slowly, uncertain she had heard correctly. What do you mean you don't have one? We just don't, Ethan said. Human males are fertile year-round. A collective gasp rippled across the room. A gelatinous student bubbled in alarm. A furred Brannick warrior coughed violently. Zyra's crest shot straight up. Year-round, she repeated, voice cracking. That's biologically impossible. Ethan shrugged. It's normal for us. Zyra swayed on her feet. Human males don't have a season? Ethan opened his mouth to explain further, but Zyra's eyes rolled back. And right there, in front of the entire class, the top-performing noble student of the Hetheri Empire fainted. Middle, the study group incident. Zyra didn't stay unconscious long. She awoke in the infirmary, covered in shimmering blankets that adjusted to her body temperature. Standing beside her bed was Ethan, awkwardly shifting his weight. You passed out, he said gently. Zyra groaned and covered her crest with both hands. I remember. I made a fool of myself. Ethan hesitated before offering her a cup of water. You were shocked. It's not a crime. It is a crime, she muttered. In my culture, knowledge is status. Ignorance, especially public ignorance, is a humiliation. Her 4 eyes searched Ethan's face. And this unbelievable fact about humans. Is it truly real? Ethan nodded. Zyra swallowed hard. But year-round fertility means unpredictable mating drives, sociological instability, chaotic hormonal patterns. He laughed lightly. Yeah, that's humanity. Messy, emotional, unpredictable, but also adaptable. Zyra stared as if seeing him really seeing him for the first time. And human females? They also. He shook his head.
No.
Women have cycles. Just not season-based, monthly. Zaira blinked in fascination. And yet, your species thrives. More than thrives, Ethan said. We dominate planets, survive impossible climates, rebuild after disasters. Our flexibility is part of why. Zaira slowly sat up. Then I must understand more. Human biology is chaotic, but fascinating. Will you join my study group? Ethan smiled. Sure. The next day, Zaira sat across from Ethan in a private library pod, stacks of data pads around them. Human reproductive biology, she said, opening a hologram. Start from the beginning and do not spare details. He chuckled nervously. Okay. Hours passed. Ethan explained genetics, hormones, evolution, emotions, cultural differences. Zaira listened like a starved scholar, asking question after question. At one point, she leaned in so close he could see the reflective fractal patterns in her eyes. This trait, she murmured, pointing at a diagram of genetic diversity, allows humans to adapt at speeds other species would consider impossible. We survive by improvisation, Ethan said. Zaira's expression softened. Perhaps that is why humans are feared and respected. Ethan hadn't expected that from her. Then, in a moment of unfiltered honesty, Zaira whispered, Your biology is terrifying. He laughed. Thank you. It is also beautiful.
He stopped laughing.
Zaira froze, realizing what she had said. I meant scientifically. The pod door suddenly slid open. 3 HFY students stood there, glaring. Zaira on Vel. One hissed. We heard you fainted because of a human? The second pointed at Ethan. You are consorting with him now? And studying mating cycles? The third added, scandalized. Zaira's crest tightened. It is for academic purposes, she said stiffly. But her classmates exchanged looks. A HFY noble does not lower herself to learn from a human, one snapped. Something inside Ethan twisted. He closed his data pad. I should go. No, Zaira said quickly, grabbing his wrist. You stay. Her classmates stared in shock. You defend him? A human? Zaira, your family will disown you. Zaira inhaled sharply. If knowledge is strength, then I refuse to remain ignorant. And he has answered every question with patience you lack. Ethan's eyes widened. The HFY stormed out, furious. Zaira sat back down, still holding Ethan's wrist. I apologize, she murmured. HFY pride is a curse. Ethan smiled gently. Thanks for standing up for me. Zaira released his wrist, flustered. I only acted logically, she said, voice trembling slightly. A reliable study partner is valuable. But her crest shimmered softly, a sign of embarrassment. And something else. Interest. Middle 2, the field exam. 2 weeks later, cadet teams were assigned a practical xenobiology assessment. Survive 3 days on an uninhabited moon and catalog its fauna. Ethan and Zaira were paired together. The shuttle dropped them off on rocky soil under a lavender sky. Zaira scanned the environment. Atmosphere safe. Temperature stable. Minimal predators. Ethan strapped on his pack. Should be easy. It was not easy. The moon's flora emitted spores at night that disrupted neural function. Zaira collapsed during the first spore burst, overwhelmed by the sensory distortion. Ethan dragged her into a cave, sealed it, and activated his respirator. When she woke, her voice was weak. You saved me. He shrugged. You'd have done the same. Zaira looked at him long and hard.
No.
I would not have had the physical stamina to carry you while resisting toxins. Humans, you are stronger than you appear. Ethan sat beside her. You faint less now, he teased. Zaira flushed, a soft purple glow. I fainted once. They shared a laugh, and for the first time, Zaira felt something unfamiliar when looking at a human. Warmth, respect, possibly admiration. Ending, the presentation that shocked the Academy. After 3 grueling days, they returned with flawless data. During the final presentation, Zaira stood beside Ethan at the podium. Throughout this exam, she said proudly, my human partner demonstrated resilience, creativity, and adaptability far exceeding my expectations. A murmur spread through the room. Ethan nearly choked. She continued, human fertility cycles, though chaotic, create a species with unparalleled genetic diversity, emotional bonding capability, and survival instincts. The audience stared. Zaira lifted her chin. Humans are not primitive. They are not inefficient. They are not unpredictable. They are adaptable, and their biology is a strength, not a flaw. Her crest glowed bright with sincerity. Ethan swallowed.
She had changed.
And so had he. When the presentation ended, Zaira turned to him. I misjudged your species, she said softly. And I misjudged you. Ethan smiled shyly. Glad I could help. She hesitated, then offered one of her 4 hands, a gesture of trust and respect in Hethery culture. Study partners? She asked. Ethan took her hand.
Yeah.
Her crest shimmered with a warm, hopeful glow. Perhaps, Zaira said quietly, we could study more than biology next term. Ethan blinked in surprise, but her eyes were soft, curious, fearless. He grinned. I'd like that.